What's up, everybody? The Wizards win tonight, 113 to 105. The dub tonight, led by Kyle Kuzma and a little bit of Rui. Let's talk about it next on Locked On Wizards.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Scott again with my guy, the real Ed Oliver. Thank you for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get podcasts. Today's episode is brought to you by Bet Online. Bet Online, I used it tonight, so definitely look out for Bet Online. So, tonight the Wizards get the big dub. Again, the dub tonight, 113 to 105 at home against the Dallas Mavericks. The Wizards had injuries, but before we get into that, Kyle Kuzma lit it up, 36 points. So the lineup of Kyle Kuzma, Rui, and what did I say?
And Denny.
And Denny, there you go. Thank you. That lineup, how good is that lineup to you?
Oh, it was a great lineup. I mean, Kuzma, he stole the show tonight. He was the player of the game, clearly. After the game, they did a press conference. Megan McPeak from NBC Sports Washington, she interviewed Kyle Kuzma after the game, and he said he told West that they should run the offense through him, and they did that tonight, and he dominated. He took over. He was hitting some tough threes, some step-back threes. He was getting to the basket. The floater was going. Kuz dominated. I mean, he had a beautiful no-look pass to Rui where Rui dunked on Kleber. Kuz had a beautiful pass again to Rui where Rui did the up and under and finished. Denny had some great moves towards the end of the game. He did between the legs twice, a tween on Luka and got to the basket and finished. Denny got better as the game went along, and we talked. All these guys talked about it last year how they love playing with each other. All these guys are 6'9", 6'8", Kuz 6'10", long arms, long wingspans. They're all switchable and can defend, and they're all solid on the offensive side of the ball as well. And they were all just, the ball was moving without KP, without Bill. I think guys were moving the ball more and relying on each other and playing team basketball. I think they play team ball with KP and Bill. I'm not saying that they don't. But without them, other guys had to step up, and Kuz stepped up. We saw more of the Kuz that we saw from last year where Kuz was playing at an all-star level, 30, 34, 36 points tonight, 6 assists. Going to bring up some more of his numbers, but and he hit a double-double tonight too. He had 11 boards tonight as well. So this was the Kuz that we saw from last year when Bill was out and Kuz was really taking over. I want to look at how many threes Kuz hit tonight as well, but Kuz dominated from start to finish, man. He had one of his crazy styles on, like it was like a blue shirt and a blue hat. One of his weird fits tonight, 5 for 11 from the three-point line, 11 boards, 9 defensive rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 36 points tonight. I mean, he dominated from start to finish, and he got his teammates involved as well and picked up on Luka as well. It was a team effort on Luka Doncic. There was times when Rui was guarding him, Kuz was guarding him. We were doubling. We just showed different looks against Luka. But to answer your question, man, I love that lineup. I want to see more of it. I want to see it even with KP, even when KP and Bill come back. I want to see Wes Unseld Jr. do that. And it's taking this long for Wes to instill that lineup. It's kind of crazy that it's taking them this long in the season. I know it's only been 12 games, but they should have had this lineup going even earlier than this.
Yo, absolutely. This was a good lineup. This was a really good lineup. I like what I saw from the lineup. Defense, 3-point shooting. Kyle Kuzma tonight showed leadership, but the points, man, I was hoping for 40, 36 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, almost got a triple dub. I mean, he was rocking tonight. He showed that leadership. He really showed why this could be a big 3 and not just a solid 3. I like what I saw from Kyle Kuzma tonight. I mean, he led the charge. Another person led the charge. Let's pull up the stats real quick. Rui, 23 points. I mean, Rui's rocking. Those two led the way. We don't win this game without Rui and Kyle Kuzma. Some more numbers. Again, Monty Morris, underwhelming. 6 points, 3 assists. Kispert, he's getting back in the groove of things, 7 points. Denny, 12 points. Gill was a surprise start. Well, I don't know the surprise. I wouldn't have started him at the center position, but he started tonight at the center position. As you know, the injuries. Bradley Beal obviously was out, safety protocols, but Taj Gibson was out, and KP was out. But, KP being out had me a little worried at first, but they responded. This was a good team win. A good team win. You know, Dallas, I believe they just took an L. So I mean, they're kind of struggling as of late. You know, they took an L the other night, so they're struggling. But you know, Doncic, you know, he looked like he was injured tonight. He he landed awkward. You know, he looked like he rolled his ankle in the third quarter. So you know, but still, I mean, Barton came through off the bench, 14 points. Goodwin, 2 points, but 7 rebounds and 6 assists. And Gafford, man, the landlord. You know what they call him? The landlord was, man, he was getting rent tonight because, look, he was rocking 11 points, 10 rebounds. I mean, that clean block in the fourth quarter. Man, they try to call a foul on him. He's like, nah, man, they challenged, they got the call. But, no, I love what I saw from the team tonight. They really responded because, you know, on paper, you look at, you're missing Bradley Beal, Kristaps Porzingis, DeLon Wright, and Taj Gibson. You know, that's hard to win against a Dallas Mavericks team with all those injuries. So, no, a great team tonight. I love what I saw from this team tonight.
Yeah, the Mavs were missing Christian Wood, but like I said, we were missing guys as well. So, I mean, you could talk about the injury game or whatever, the injury report. But yeah, I mean, it was just good team basketball. They had 25 assists tonight. And they didn't let the Mavericks off the hook towards the end of the game. You know, usually we've let leads go. We're up by 14 at one point. Jordan Goodwin stepped up. I thought he played solid basketball, making some good passes. He had 7 assists. I want to say 5 assists or 7 assists. Pulling it up right now, but he didn't score much. And the decision for West to play Jordan Goodwin over Monte Morris to finish the game was a huge decision from Wes Unseld Jr., where, you know, a lot of the times he likes to be comfortable and go with guys that, you know, he knows or that they're acquired to be the starting point guard instead of going with guys who have the hot hand. And he actually rode the guys with the hot hand. Kuzma, he let him finish. Kuzma usually finishes anyway, but Jordan Goodwin, having him finish, you know, he basically forced offensive foul on McGee, playing hard through the screen. He was fired with some energy. He had a nice pass to Will Barton in the clutch for a corner 3. Jordan Goodwin was a plus 12 tonight. Had 2 points, 6 assists, and 7 boards. He's just a stat sheet stuffer. Now, he didn't have the perfect game that he had last game against the Hornets, but he just contributed in different ways. And that's what we need. We needed a guy to step in and fill in that role that DeLon Wright had. And I think Jordan Goodwin has definitely done a great job of that. And I think the Wizards, they did a good job on Luka. Yes, the Mavericks did just lose to the Magic the other night, but Luka, they made it tough on him. You know, he's going to make some really tough shots. I thought some of the double teaming didn't really work in the first half, but the communication got better and the rotations got better down the stretch in the second half. Now, Luka, he was 8 for 21, 3 for 8 from the three-point line. He was awful from the free throw line. He also got teed up as well. You know, he was complaining to the refs a lot. A lot of the Mavericks were complaining to the refs a lot. So I was happy that they teed him up. But, you know, Luka, he made some tough shots, but the Wizards really, really did a good job just interchanging. Anthony Gill, like you said, he got the start. I know Wes Unseld Jr., he really loves Anthony Gill. Personally, I think, you know, I know the favorite to start would be Rui at the 5 or Gafford at the 5. But Rui's just done a heck of a job coming off the bench. He leads the league. He's tied with Benedict Mathurin for double-digit games coming off the bench. So Rui's definitely making a case for Sixth Man of the Year. So guys just came in, they played well off the bench, and like we said, you know, it could be a solid 3 with Porzingis, Beal, and Kuzma, but the young 3 with Kuz, Denny, and Rui. I mean, Kuz is a veteran, but Denny and Rui, they shined tonight. I thought they played really well. Denny had a rough first half, but he really stepped up in the second half, and Rui had a complete game from start to finish.
No, like you said, this was a beautiful team victory, you know, especially being down the injuries that we have. You know, everybody stepped up. Kuz really stepped up tonight. I mean, he was hitting threes. I was looking at the comments laughing. He was hitting threes from Bethesda. I believe that. He was, I mean, homeboy was hitting threes from New York, man. I mean, he was, I think, what was it, the fourth quarter, when he did that side step and hit that deep 3, man. I was like, man, yeah, he's mine tonight, man. So now I want to touch base on Spencer Dinwiddie real quick, former Wizard from last season. But before we do, tonight's episode is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline.net is your number one source for sports betting info, stats, news, and analysis. Get the latest odds and trends for every professional and amateur league out there. From football to basketball to soccer to esports, we've got it all at BetOnline.net. And if you love sports podcasts, you can find those at BetOnline as well. We're always the fastest and easy way to get your betting fix. Hit the website today or use your mobile device to learn more. Bet online, where the game starts. Thank you for making Locked On Wizards your first listen. For your next listen, check out the Locked On Sports Today podcast. The biggest stories of the day, plus instant reactions, big game recaps, and the take of the day. Available on Aussie app, YouTube, or wherever you get podcasts. So, as you know, former Wizard Spencer Dinwiddie showed up tonight, and he definitely showed up. I mean, 33 points. Somebody made him mad because he came out. He was hitting threes. He was talking trash, So I mean, he looked healthy. I wish he was healthy like that last season, but he looked healthy. As you mentioned before, Luka Doncic, 22 points. Normally, you see somebody score 22 points, as a game for them. But I felt like they rotated great. It wasn't just Denny guarding him. People did the rotations guarding Luka kind of, they did great guarding Luka. I'm not gonna say they shut him down 22 points, but they contained him. With a team with Doncic and Dinwiddie, normally Doncic is the guy who's going to put a lot of points on the board. So, Dinwiddie kind of showed up for the Mavs, but it was good to see the team basketball was a lot better in this game, a lot better. Defense was a lot better. Looking at team stats, field goal percentage, they shot 48% from the field. 3-point percentage was 40%. Field goal, 95. 52 rebounds and 26 assists. The ball movement was fluid. Like I said, I'm not going to say they're a better team without Bill, but everybody definitely eats.
Yeah, everybody eats. Yeah, I was going to say that too. Everybody eats 2.0.
I mean, and it's true. You see more fluid passing without Bill. Nothing against Bill. Bradley Bill's my dude, man. But it's more fluidity to the offense when Bill's out of the lineup. So, moving on to takeaways from the game. What are some main takeaways that you got from the game tonight?
Once again, just ball movement, point forward, Kuz. We don't really have point guards that get into the lane, that get into the paint. Monte Morris, he struggles to get into the paint. Jordan Goodwin does a good job of it, here and there. He definitely did it more than Monte Morris in that Hornets game, and I thought he did it a couple of times today. But yeah, that's my main takeaway is just point forward Kuz. I mean, I think that's something that we can really build on. And he, like I said, he said that he told West to run the offense through him. And they shot the three ball better tonight, and I think that was because of better ball movement and guys being able to get to the paint and penetrate. And they had open looks. They just haven't been able to hit open looks, and they knocked down some open looks. Like in the free throw line, they got to the free throw line, they converted from the free throw line 19 for 20, 95%. The defense was so much better. Gafford, I got to tip my cap to him. I mean, he played so much better tonight going up against Dwight Powell. He had a huge block on JaVale McGee, the former Wizard. He set the tone with that. The successful challenge by West, I love that a lot. It was a rocky start from the jump, from the first quarter. They gave up a lot of open threes, doubling Luka. Spencer hit a three. Finney-Smith hit a three. Guys were knocking down open shots. But West adjusted, so I got to tip my cap to him as well. If I had to give the defensive belt to somebody, it's a couple of guys I could really give it to. But I think, honestly, I would give it to Gaff, man. He really 4 blocks tonight for Daniel Gafford. He had a double-double as well. So Kuz had a double-double and Gafford had a double-double. Gafford had 11 points, 10 boards, and he also had 4 blocks tonight. So he really set the tone in the paint, and he made people think twice about coming down there. So, but I just can't talk about enough about just the team basketball, and I really want KP and Bill when they come in to just keep that team ball up. And I think they were doing it before they came, but I just want to see that ball on a string, just moving the ball, getting to the basket, moving out the ball, getting to the basket. 52 points in the paint, and we held the Mavericks to 36 points in the paint. So those are the big numbers to me. 25 assists, just the ball movement, and we really control the boards tonight too. 52 boards to their 41, and we only let the Mavericks have 7 offensive rebounds. And transition defense was good today too. We got back on defense. That's been a problem, getting back on defense. So this was a great all-around game for the Washington Wizards tonight. I was impressed. On Cherry Blossom night, shout out to Rui. The jerseys look good too. I had no problems with the jerseys tonight either, too.
Bro, them uniforms are fire. I might have to go pick one up, man. Give me another Rui jersey. I mean, they're fire. I'm a big fan of the city unis, man. And this is my favorite one. I'm getting off track, but anyway, what I got from the game, like you said, ball movement, Ball movement was fluid. No, like you said, I'm just going to chuck it down to it was a good all-around team game. It really was. The entire team showed out. Even if you look at Jordan Goodwin, yes, it was only 2 points, but he contributed with assists and rebounds, and his defense just continues to be good defense. His leader, he's just, his ability to drive the lane. Monte Morris had me frustrated. There was a few times where I was looking at the game and the lane is wide open. I don't know what the hesitancy is. I don't know, but he's got to drive the lane. I just, Monte just, we said it the last episode. He's to a certain degree playing himself out of the starting position. Jordan Goodwin, he's showing the effort that you want to see at the starting point guard position. Not that I'm trying to say he's like John Wall, but John Wall had that dog in him that you see with Jordan Goodwin. And that matters at the starting point guard position. He had that dog. He had that effort. He had that defense. He had that, and Monte's just too passive. Too passive. At least Spencer Dinwiddie was talking stuff, man. Talk some stuff. Something. Get aggressive, man. So I don't want to harp on Monte. I think he's solid. I think he's more solid on the bench, but like you said, overall, very impressed with this win. A couple of negatives. There's always has to be a few negatives. Barton. Barton did show out 14 points, but Barton, that issue, I think one issue this team does have is only having 1 to 2 touches per possession. Very often you'll see Barton get the ball and he's chucking it. You saw that a few times. They gotta, you want to see at least 2 to 3 possession, touches on the possession. And so sometimes they tend to have, take one touch and shoot the ball up. That was one negative. The referees were trash tonight. I'm sorry. I know that Luka is a superstar, and he complains like he's a spoiled brat. I'm sorry, he just does, man. If he doesn't get his call, he's out there, he's complaining all that. It's like, come on, man. I didn't think that we would have to challenge a clean block. It was clean. It was crazy that we even had to challenge that. So the refereeing was terrible, and that's expected. Whenever you go against a team that has a superstar is just the name of the game of the NBA. Superstars get calls, and when they don't get calls, they start crying. So Luka was crying, but overall, like you said, very, very good team win. So moving on, there was somebody posted that the Lakers. Now we know the Lakers are hurting right now. The Lakers were looking at Bradley Beal. So, if indeed that is true, and if you're Tommy, and there's a chance that you could flip him, because I was thinking about this in my head. If I'm going to flip him to the Lakers, who would you get back? Russell Westbrook. Why? Because he's a free agent next season. So, if you had the opportunity to get Bradley Beal's contract off the books, would you do it?
No, there's just nothing from the Lakers that I would want at all. They got the 27th. They got their 2027 and 2029 first round picks. I'm not taking back Russell Westbrook for Bradley Beal. I feel like you can get something better than that. It might not be this. You may just have to wait it out on Beal and I don't want to talk about it too much, especially on a positive note. But no, there's just the Lakers just don't have any assets to give. They just don't. I just don't want anything from that team. I'd rather get what what the Jazz got for Donovan Mitchell, what they got for Rudy Gobert, and you may not be able to get something that good. What they got for Rudy and Donovan Mitchell, but I feel like you can do better than what package the Lakers have. I feel like you can do a lot better. I feel like the Miami Heat, they may get desperate. The Celtics may get desperate down the line, and may want to look after Bill. And but like I said, who knows? We'll see. But I'm not looking for anything for the Lakers, and I'm not trying to help LeBron James out either. So yeah, I would pass on that. But I did see the report from Chris Haynes. He'd said the Lakers covet Bradley Beal.
Well, I'm going to try to change your mind. I'm going to tell you why. Contract. Now, if you look at Bradley Beal, he took a noticeable dip, statistical wise. You look at the money going forward. He makes more every year going forward. So you got to kind of look at that. Last season, he took a dip in 3-point percentage, points per game. This season is his lowest, I believe it's his lowest scoring output since 2016. For a guy who's in a Supermax contract, to flip him, and I know that right now Russell Westbrook is not the most popular name, but he's a free agent next season. That money, $50 million goes a long way, especially if you want to build around KP or Kuz. And I know this is just hypotheticals here. Bradley Beal's still the guy. But when you see stuff like that, usually there's an old saying, when there's smoke, there's fire. It's pretty. The Lakers, that organization is trying to win a chip. LeBron's trying to get one on the way out. So, I could see them making a major move for maybe a Bradley Beal. I mean, his name's been floated everywhere the last 5 years. I mean, everywhere, Miami, but Lakers was a place just like Golden State that a lot of people could see him going. So if I'm Tommy Shepard, I'm making that move. I'm moving that move. I'm bringing in Russell Westbrook. I'm going to let the young guys develop, and he's off the books next season. So that's $50 million that I can either go into free agency with, or a lot of possibilities. But like I said, that's just hypotheticals.
Yeah. The only thing with Russ coming is it kind of the development. It could go both ways because we saw what happened to Denny when Russ was here. He was turned into a 3-and-D shooter because when Russ gets the ball, it's just get out the way, and you're just going to have to be a spot up shooter. So that's the thing with Russ. Now he did make Gafford better. I'll say that. We wouldn't see any more point Kuz. Kuz would be a spot up shooter. So just bringing in Russ right now at this point in this state, it doesn't really help with development. And it would just be, you would get worse as a team. I just I just feel like there's so many other better options that can come up. That'd be like if we were talking about packages, like if the Heat really want Bill, then I'd rather get the Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, and a couple picks, and maybe another young guy from the Heat, maybe Nikola Jovic or something like that. I just feel like there's some better packages out there. Like maybe the Celtics have something better to offer. They have future first round picks. Those are just some teams that I could see trying to get Bradley Beal. And then of course we got to remember Bradley Beal, he's the one that has to want to be traded because he has all the power. So I know his wife is from LA, so I could see the connection there. But I can't take Russ. And I know the comment section is probably going crazy too. So but we can do, who was your player of the game tonight? Who did you see getting the defensive belt before we get to the comments?
Man, the defensive belt goes to the whole team.
Mm-hmm.
They collectively contained Luka Doncic. Easy. The whole team gets the belt. They did well, rotating, the whole team gets it. Player of the game, Kyle Kuzma, easy. He showed up looking like a walk-in purple drink, man, but but hey, he showed out tonight. Very impressed. He's had a slow start. He's had an inconsistent start to the season, but 36 points, almost getting a triple dub. His 3-point shot with his confidence, his leadership showed. He was talking to Jordan Goodwin. He was talking to players. He was, that's what you want to see. So no, he's definitely my player of the game. What about you?
Kyle Kuzma, of course, is the player of the game. Defensive belt. I said Gaffs earlier, so I'm gonna go with Gaff. 4 blocks, huge blocking with JaVale McGee, and then really the whole team as a collective effort guarding Luka Doncic tonight.
Absolutely, JaVale McGee. Shaq to the floor. Right. So let's get into some comments here. All right. Right at the top. There we go. Finally, paid off not to go to sleep. Yeah, wake up tonight. We got that dub tonight. Denny and Goodwin are beasts. And this is Perfect Finance. Appreciate you commenting. Denny and Goodwin are beasts in defense.
Yeah, they were. They were a beast tonight. They did look good. Denny looked good. Goodwin looked good. Goodwin was guarding his butt off, fighting through screens. Denny was fighting his butt off, fighting through screens as well. Just a collective effort. Goodwin's a pest out there, man. He's stepping in for DeLon Wright. I thought he played. He's keeping it up.
Absolutely. Let's see. From Phil Wilson, Goodwin closing again in 29 minutes to Monte's 19. Just pointing out the stats. No, hey, I appreciate you. That's a little eye-opening a little bit. Monte getting less minutes than Jordan Goodwin. We're not the only ones to see, the writings on the wall. Monte, his window for proving he could be a point guard for the Washington Wizards is closing. He's got to get better because I don't, I can see him going to the bench, especially with DeLon Wright coming back. But you could very well see him sent at the deadline because, DeLon Wright has showed that he can start or be that guy off the bench. So, with Jordan Goodwin and DeLon Wright playing the way they had this season, Monte could play his way out of DC. And that's just my opinion. But I mean, look at the stats and look at the writing on the wall. DeLon Wright and Jordan Goodwin have both played at a high level this season. So, I definitely agree.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about Goodwin starting, and here's a comment here from Eaton Melody saying, hot take here, but I think Goodwin should start over Monte. So, yeah, a lot of people have been saying that as well. You're not the only one. So it's really not much of a hot take. But, Goodwin's finishing the game, and I'm happy that Wes is realizing that. Monte had 6 points tonight, 3 for 6 from the field, -4 and plus minus, about 3 assists, no turnover, only 1 turnover. But yeah, he's better suited to be a backup point guard. That's just what he is. That's what he was with the Nuggets. And he's showing that. So I think he's better suited to just come off the bench. I know he's Wes's guy, but honestly, Jordan Goodwin gives us the best chance to win. Honestly, DeLon Wright, when he comes back, he gives us the best chance to win when those guys are out there. So, but I think Monte is a solid point guard in this league. But I think he's just, for this team, they need somebody who can push the pace, get into the paint, get open shots for other guys, and they just need a better defensive, a point of attack point guard right now. And Jordan Goodwin and DeLon Wright, they're just better at those things right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I can say time and time again, Monte Morris, I was very optimistic about him pushing the pace. He just hasn't. He's not attacking the way he should. And it's just, it may be time to take a look at Jordan Goodwin. So, this is a good one right here. Rui went MJ with that. Man, that was nice. Man, Rui was showing out tonight, man. Rui is another guy that might get that bag in all season, man.
Yep.
Let's see. Gav played his butt off without fouling out. Great job. Yeah, absolutely. Gav, a lot more discipline tonight. Absolutely. I mean, it's not like the Mavericks don't really have that dominant center.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Christian would have helped, but you're right. They just didn't. Dwight Powell's not that guy. They don't have a dominant back to the basket or a guy who can really get to the basket either.
But still good job, Gav.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not taking any. We've been tough on Gav, rightfully so. I mean, he played well without fouling. He was disciplined. He did jump into Luka one time where Luka got him with a pump fake, but the ref didn't call it, and Luka got upset. He got attacked. But no, I love Gafford's energy tonight. He finished around the rim. This was his best game by far. He played well against the Mavericks last year. We swept the Mavs. We haven't lost ever since the trade. We have not lost to the Mavs. Ever since the trade, we are 2-0 against Spencer Dinwiddie as well. So keep that in mind.
Absolutely. Here's a comment right here from Itan Melody. They need to start giving Denny 30+ minutes on the regular. He's definitely an anchor, and he's going to get out of his slump if given a chance. I gotta disagree. I like Denny. I think he's a good athletic player, but he's lacking fire. His finishing has to get better. His 3-point shot, he hit a 3 tonight. But his 3-point shot is still not as consistent as you'd like. Now, his defense, like we always say, is elite level defense, but his offensive repertoire has to expand. He had that one drive tonight where I was expecting him to slam it, and he just kind of, I guess last minute just quit, or just, I don't know what happened. And he drew the foul, but it's just, he's got to get more aggressive. I don't know if it's a confidence thing, but there has to be a fire lit under Denny. That's just my opinion. And until I see that aggressiveness with Denny on the offensive end, I don't know if I could give him 30+ right now. Now, I think eventually going forward, because I like Denny, I think he's going to respond. He's going to get better as the season unfolds. I do, like we mentioned earlier, I do like the lineup of Denny and I keep forgetting, man. What was it? Kuz, Denny, and Rui. I think that is a nice lineup. So going forward, I think he's gonna be all right. But I wouldn't give him 30+ right now.
Yeah, he's just got to earn it. I mean, he played really well tonight. I want to look at the minutes that he played tonight, but he's got to finish layups. He did miss one layup going to the basket. Actually, he missed 2 layups tonight. So he just has to finish better around the rim. He did hit 1 3 tonight, so that's encouraging. He was in a slump from the 3-point line. Still shot 25% from the 3-point line. He did have an and one, and he had a dunk as well tonight. It was a nice cut to the basket. He dunked it. That's what I want to see him dunk the ball more. You're 6'9" and you're athletic. You need to just go up and dunk the ball. So I like that for him. 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Of course, he's going to give ultimate maximum effort on the defensive end of the court. But offensively, yes, it's been a work in progress for Denny Avdija. Finishing around the rim, making layups, dribbling with his left hand. It's definitely been it's definitely a lot of developmental areas for him. But yeah, when he's defending, yes, he deserves minutes, but he just gotta he slowed down. He did a pump fake one time, got Luke up in the air, got an and one, and he scored on Luka again in the second half. So he showed some encouraging sides on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, you see improvements, but it's year 3. And like I said, I like Denny. I think he's a good prospect. I think he's a good player. He's already shown elite level defense, but I think as the season goes on, I want to see improvement with the 3-point shot. I want to see more aggressiveness going to the basket. I want to see more aggressiveness. I think he's capable of doing that. So, everything I named off, I don't think is out of the, the realm for him. I think, he's going to improve as the season goes.
We're it's all confidence for him.
Absolutely.
It's all confidence for him.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to get into a couple more comments and we're going to roll out. Let's see, Red Wings.
Yeah, the cherry blossoms look really good.
Yeah. Let's do one more. Let's see. Oh, somebody said not for Westbrook. Yeah, I feel you. I don't know.
A lot of people are agreeing with you though. Looking at the comments, which one said not for Westbrook?
Oh, it was scroll up here.
It was a lot of people agreeing with you, honestly. But Macro says run the team through Kuz. Yeah, I think they should. I think they definitely should. Maya said they hit shots when it mattered more. Yeah, they were clutch. Barton hit a clutch shot, but yes, Barton did take some tough shots. He took some ill-advised shots. He's a tough shot maker. That's what he is. He's a 6-man. He's a microwave scorer, and he takes a lot of heat check shots. And when he's not even hot, he takes heat check shots. The first 3 of the game that he shot was a pull-up 3. So that's the kind of shots he takes. He takes a lot of shots with hands, with a defender in his face. And you sometimes you need a guy like that who's super uber aggressive. He is from Baltimore. I know the broadcast, they talk about it all the time. He's just a Baltimore hooper. And that's how they play out there, like in the Brunson League and those summer leagues. That's the kind of style that he plays. That and one mixtape tour kind of style, and he's kind of a ball stopper sometimes, but he's a really good playmaker, really good ball handler. But yeah, some of his decision making is questionable for sure, and he holds on to the ball a little too long. When you see other guys out there tonight, were really moving the ball and passing the ball. So yes, he took some tough shots, held onto the ball a little too long. Before in the end of the third quarter, I was surprised he didn't shoot the ball. He turned the ball over. He made a terrible pass and it was a turnover. And I was pretty upset with that play, but. It wasn't one of his better nights, but he scored some big shots for us that we needed. He had 14 points. He was a +7, 4 assists and 7 boards, 4 for 12 from the field. So I think we're going to need a guy like him, but yes, he does need to move the ball more for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I love Barton's game. Just he tends to try to shoot, like you said, those harder shots too often. Don't try to front flip on the porch, man. Just walk up the steps. I mean, you don't have to shoot these crazy shots all the time. But no, I mean, again, before we wrap up, this was a good quality team win. Good. I mean, we needed this win, especially being undermanned. This shows a lot of character about this team. This shows that it's not too late for this team. There's still a lot of heart. There's still a lot of fight in this team. So again, we're going to go ahead and end it there.
Yeah, we'll read a couple of more of the comments because it is interesting. I mean, you would do the deal to trade Bill. We'll probably continue it on the next episode, but some of the comments are interesting. Big O says Bill's time is done, man. Team plays better without him. Perfect Finance says move Bradley Bill. Yes. Where fans meet says 2 firsts and Russ, Ed. It's a 2027 first and the 2020. Those are the picks that the Lakers have because they don't have a lot of draft picks. So you're waiting on picks, 4 years from now? And Russell Westbrook, it's just I feel like you can do better than that. You can do a lot better than that. But then Perfect Finance says, but that's wishful thinking. Moving a non-trade clause, $250 million. And then Shug says, "Did y'all talk about how much better we are without Bill?" So yeah, this is the comments that we're getting. A lot of people are ready to move on from Bradley Bill. That's just how it is. And where fans meet, he agrees. He said, "I would do that so quickly. I might even help him pack his bags." So, like I said, we can definitely talk about this later on another episode. Tommy moving Brad for Russ would kill the fan base. So it's definitely mixed reviews, but a lot of people are agreeing with what you're saying, Brandon.
I'm just saying, man. Look,
Mhm.
you know, I think it's a logical move to make. You know, I get trying to get assets, but I think the time to get assets for Bradley Beal's gone. That no trade clause is there's a lot of factors that make him not that attractable to other teams. So I mean, getting that contract off the books is probably to a certain degree better than draft picks to a certain degree, because you're taking on Russell Westbrook, and he's a free agent next season. Where the Lakers, they're in it, they're in it for the duration of his contract, because after you flip him to LA, it's going to be almost impossible to flip him anywhere else. Look how hard it is for them to try to get rid of Russell Westbrook. I mean, there was they were talking about trading him to the Pacers for Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, but that still hasn't happened. It's hard. So again, appreciate the love on here, man. But
Mhm. But what I
we'll
will
see.
say to contrary to that, because Russ, he just hasn't played good ball. He hasn't been better. It just hasn't been a good fit for him with the Lakers, so he hasn't played well. He's played better off the bench though. But Bradley Beal, he's just a better player right now out of the two. And Bradley Beal put some good games together. He can definitely raise that trade value back up. So I just feel like there's better deals. I feel like Boston can give you a better deal. I just feel like there's some other teams that can certainly give you a better. Maybe Philly, and Miami. I feel like those teams can give you a better deal for sure. But we'll wrap it up. This is the last one I do want to talk about. Kispert can be used as trade fodder as well. Kispert, the 1-3 that I saw him took tonight, it went off the backboard. He did hit 1-3. I want to look at his numbers too. He hasn't been the 3-point shooter as advertised really yet coming out of college. Now he hit 1-3 tonight, but he just hasn't really been a lights out or consistent shooter. Now in the second half of the end of the year, yes, he did play well, but he just hasn't been an elite shooter or shooting. I just haven't seen it yet from Kispert on a consistent basis. I know this is only his second or third game back, but that 1-3 off the side of the backboard, it was rough. It was rough. Yeah, it was rough. So go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah, that shot off the side of the backboard is his shot is going to take a little bit to kind of get him back in rhythm. But I think to
yeah, so we'll probably wrap it up tonight, Brandon. We'll probably wrap it up and continue tomorrow, and go back on these comments. I mean, not tomorrow, but probably Monday. They play Saturday and Sunday, so we'll probably comment more about this, because I see you guys put some interesting comments in there. We're probably going to wrap it up tonight, though. You guys have been rocking with us. 85 people in the chat. The Wizards got the dub. You got to love it. I think McDonald's is like a Big Mac is like $2 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken, because the Wizards won. So I'm not a McDonald's guys, but you guys can definitely check that out. And then I just want to thank you guys for making Locked On Wizards your first listen today. For your second listen today, check out Locked On Sports Today. From the games that matter the most to the biggest stories in sports, go beyond the scoreboard and behind the scenes with local experts and insights only Locked On can provide. Locked On Sports Today, available on this app, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. Wizards got the dub tonight. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Make sure you guys subscribe to us on YouTube and on wherever you guys get a podcast, and leave us 5-star review. Definitely means a lot to us, and definitely can help us out on iTunes, wherever you get a podcast. Hail to the Wizards. Peace.